So the related question about remarriage would be that, as I've already said, the very nature of divorce allows for remarriage. There can be situations in which someone wants to remarry, and yet because they've not been legitimately divorced biblically, they may be legally divorced, they may have a responsibility to seek reconciliation. So, if you abandon your spouse without biblical grounds, actually Paul addresses that in 1 Corinthians 7 as well. In verse 10, he says, the wife should not leave her husband, but if she does leave, she must remain unmarried or else be reconciled to her husband. So if you leave without biblical grounds, option A is stay single. Option B is be reconciled. Again, there are lots of complicated situations that can happen in terms of whether they're remarried but the general principle would be you have to be biblically eligible for remarriage. And yet remarriage can be an option. And I've known many cases in which people have been abandoned. They've been so badly hurt by someone they trusted. And God, in years to come, provided someone else. In 1 Timothy 5, Paul talks about how young widows should remarry. And I would regard a woman who has been abandoned by a husband who was unfaithful, who went and married somebody else, as being kind of a virtual widow. And to find a godly man who would care for her and possibly her children it's allowed by Scripture, and it can be a blessing from God. I know that there are wonderful people, some of whom have spoken perhaps for Gospel Coalition conferences, who take what's called the permanence view, saying that there should never be remarriage until the spouse is dead. Again, I try to present that view in my book in a kind and sympathetic way while showing why I think the view of the confessions, the view that I take, is more biblical.